Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers update for Monday, November 3rd, reveals that Outback will steal the man's paperwork while Britt Westbourne and Emma Scorpio Drake face off. In Professor Henry Hank Dalton's office, Emma will continue to interrogate Britt now that she's discovered her nemesis there. Britt will dodge questions and disaccord with Emma, who'll reconvene with Giovanni Gio Palmieri for another strategy session. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos will encourage Alexis Davis to point the cutlet at Portia Robinson rather of Michael Corinthos when she defends Willow Tate in court. Still, Alexis may argue that she can't just throw allegations at GHSCO Chief of Staff without any evidence. It'll be easier to paint Michael as a revengeful ex-husband who tried to wipe out Drew Kane and jutted on Willow despite Jen Sidwell's attempt to buy and hang Laura Collins. She'll keep her moral law complete. Sidwell may advise Laura that she's making a terrible mistake, but she wouldn't be striking any deals with him on Monday's occasion. As for Curtis Ashford, he'll work to move Jordan Ashford that she's the only woman he wants. The baby wouldn't change that according to Curtis, so Jordan might surrender to some passion with him soon enough. Next, Tracy Quartermaine will reel now that she set up Monica Quartermaine's true will in her possession. Once Tracy realizes Monica no way intended for the house to be left to Veronica Ronnie Bard, she'll know a scheme's gone down. While Tracy rushes to the Quartermaine hearthstone for a battle, Ronnie will vacillate when it comes to subscribing the papers. Drew and Martin Gray will press Ronnie to put her hand down ASAP, but she'll need a nanosecond. That'll give Outback an occasion to swoop in and steal the papers off the table. Drew will advise Outback to drop the paperwork, but Outback will go running out of the room with it rather. Drew will chase after Outback and roar for someone to stop that canine, so both Michael and Ronnie will look rather regaled over this turn of events. Once Outback is caught, Drew will contend it's time to get this show on the road. Drew will formally again push Ronnie to just subscribe the papers and no way have to deal with any of the Quartermaines again. Tracy may come bursting in before Ronnie can make the deal functionary, so we'll bring you updates on the stunning news she's about to deliver. General Hospital spoilers allude that Monica wanted Tracy to have the house rather, so Tracy will reclaim her spot as the queen of the manor house soon enough. General Hospital spoilers and updates for the week of November 3rd tease Tracy Quartermaine has the upper hand, while Anna Devane finds herself in peril. Plus, a familiar face lands in Port Charles, and Carly Spencer updates Valentine Cassadine. Tracy's upper hand, Drew is rattled. On Monday, November 3rd, Tracy has the upper hand after chancing Monica Quartermaine's original will in the box holding Alan Quartermaine's warrants. Drew Kane will be rattled, because before Tracy indeed gets to the manse, Outback the canine swipes the papers Ronnie Bard was supposed to subscribe. In the meantime, Professor Henry Dalton's office at Port Charles University, Britt Westbourne is caught in the act by Emma Scorpio Drake. Prior to that, Emma and Gio Palmieri were in the process of incubating their plan, and Emma walks in on Britt in Dalton's office elsewhere. Sonny Corinthos pleads with Alexis Davis to consider someone additional besides Michael Corinthos as an indispensable suspect in Drew's firing. Portia's stern words, Britt's warning Tuesday, November 4th. Portia Robinson will have stern words for Jordan Ashford, really blasting her for telling Curtis Ashford she might be pregnant. Away, Britt will admit a warning. Who could that be from? Jen Sidwell, Lulu Spencer, and Jason Morgan could all be likely suspects. In the meantime, Rocco Falconeri is baffled. He and Danny Morgan were supposed to distract guards and be lookouts for Emma and Gio. Alexis and Drew will disaccord. It seems that perhaps he's reneging on his deal with Alexis. Eventually, Martin Gray confides in Laura Collins. Anna's in danger. Alexis supports Danny on Wednesday, November 5th. Anna will find herself in peril. This could be related to her hunt for the Caesar Phazon final design riddle and why 2 dead children materialized. In the meantime, Alexis supports Danny. It sounds like word has reached her of Drew's former pitfalls to Danny and Rocco. Away, Gio is the voice of reason, but who'll he reason with, Emma or maybe Ronnie? Also, Sonny will arrange a private meeting with Justine Turner. And, Felicia Scorpio and Damian Spinelli will be relieved over a situation. A familiar face lands in Port Charles. Tracy has her work cut out for her Thursday, November 6th. A familiar face lands in Port Charles. Might it be Valentine Cassadine being transferred from Steinmauer to Pentonville? In the meantime, Tracy has her work cut out for her, likely in the process of proving the will she set up is the right bone. In the meantime, Jocelyn Jacks receives a new assignment. Also, Felicia will take on a new case. Is this related to her being a patient advocate at GH, or is she doing some sleuthing again? Plus, Marco Rios will catch Lucas Jones off guard. Sunny confers with Jason. Carly updates Valentine eventually. On Friday, November 7th, Sunny will confer with Jason. This is likely to revolve around Michael and getting him off the PCPD's radar. In the meantime, Carly Spencer will modernize Valentine. Away, Charlotte Cassadine and Emma will strategize. Laura will find her mayoral crusade suffering a reversal, probably due to Sidwell's hindrance. And speaking of Sidwell, it appears he's impressed by Ava Jerome. Port Charles, New York, in the high-stakes, drama-fueled world of daytime television, where fictional lives are meticulously plotted months in advance, it is a rare and sobering moment when real-world circumstance crashes through the fourth wall with unscripted force. This week, the dedicated fanbase of ABC's venerable General Hospital and the tight-knit community that brings it to life were rocked by such a moment. Kirsten Storms, the beloved actress who has breathed life into the fiery, complex, and endlessly resilient Maxie Jones for nearly 2 decades, delivered a shocking personal announcement that momentarily suspended the on-screen theatrics of Port Charles, replacing them with a unified wave of support, prayer, and profound concern. The revelation came not through a press release or a formal network statement, but in the most modern and intimate of ways, a heartfelt, candid social media post. Just days before she was scheduled to undergo major brain surgery, Storms chose to pull back the curtain on a private health battle she has been quietly fighting, sharing her diagnosis, her fears, and her unwavering hope with the millions who have followed her career. The announcement sent immediate ripples through the General Hospital universe, casting the current on-screen narrative, a whirlwind of a newborn's baptism, whispered encouragements, and venomous threats, into a stark new light, where art and life echo one another in the most poignant of ways. The on-screen storm, a baptism amidst a powder keg. As Storms shared her real-life news, her character, Maxie, was embroiled in one of the most emotionally charged storylines of the season. The episode, aptly titled Baptism Begins, encouraging words, angry threats, served as a microcosm of the turbulence that has defined Maxie's life. The central event was the baptism of baby Louise, a child whose very existence is a testament to survival and the tangled webs of Port Charles history. The ceremony, set against the soft lighting and hopeful sanctity of the church, was intended to be a moment of peace, a sacred promise of protection and a fresh start. Maxie, dressed in a serene, elegant outfit, held her daughter with the protective ferocity of a mother who has already endured unimaginable loss. Surrounding her were the pillars of her support system, her mother, Felicia, her friends, and the baby's father, Peter August, a man whose presence is itself a source of profound conflict. The encouraging words came in soft-spoken affirmations from Felicia, a reassuring squeeze of the hand from a friend, and the priest's traditional blessings. They were the verbal life rafts tossed to a woman who has navigated the deaths of past loves, the constant threat to her children, and the psychological warfare waged by those who seek to control her. In these moments, Maxie's strength is not that of a superhero, but of a survivor. It's the strength to accept comfort, to lean on others, and to believe, if only for the duration of the service, in the possibility of a calm future. But in Port Charles, peace is a fragile illusion. The angry threats were never far from the surface, lurking in the shadows of the church pews. They emanated primarily from the glowering presence of Peter, a man whose charming facade has fully eroded, revealing the manipulative and dangerous core beneath. His threats are no longer veiled, they are direct, cold, and delivered with a chilling smile. They concern custody, influence, and the total domination of Maxie's world. He is a storm cloud hovering over the baptismal font, his promises of retaliation hanging in the air like poison. This juxtaposition, the purity of a religious blessing against the corruption of a human threat, is classic General Hospital drama. Yet, in the context of Storm's revelation, every line of dialogue, every pained expression on Maxie's face, and every moment of forced composure took on a new, metatextual weight. Viewers were no longer just watching Maxie Jones summon the courage to face her villain, they were, unbeknownst to them at the time, witnessing Kirsten Storms acting her heart out while carrying the immense, private burden of a terrifying medical diagnosis. The real-life revelation, Kirsten Storms' candid confession. The facade of fiction fell away completely when Storms posted her message to fans. In a lengthy, deeply personal note, she revealed that she would be undergoing surgery to remove a brain cyst, a condition she has managed for years but which had recently escalated to a critical point. "I've been dealing with this for a long time," Storms explained, her words a blend of clinical detail and raw emotion. "It's not something I've ever wanted to define me, but it's reached a stage where intervention is no longer optional, it's necessary." She described the symptoms: debilitating headaches, vertigo, visual disturbances, and cognitive fog, that had made the demanding work of memorizing lines and performing emotionally draining scenes an increasingly Herculean task. For the actress, the decision to go public was multifaceted. There was, of course, the practical necessity of explaining her impending absence from the canvas. But more profoundly, there was a desire to control her own narrative, to speak her truth before speculation could run rampant. "I didn't want people to wonder why Maxie was suddenly on a trip to see a friend for a few months," she wrote. "I owe you all more honesty than that. You've invested in Maxie, and by extension, in me, for so long. You deserve to know why I have to step away." The news was, by any measure, shocking. For fans, Storms has been a constant, a vibrant and talented presence who has grown up on screen. Her performance has guided Maxie from a spunky, fashion-obsessed teenager to a woman tempered by tragedy, a fierce mother, and a loyal friend. To learn that the actress behind this beloved character was facing something as serious and frightening as brain surgery created an immediate and powerful emotional resonance. The angry threats Maxie faced on screen were fictional, but the threat Storms was facing was terrifyingly real. The response was instantaneous and overwhelming. A tidal wave of support flooded social media, using the hashtag #StrengthForStorms. Co-stars, both past and present, shared their love and shock. Her on-screen mother, Christina Wagner, Felicia, posted, "My beautiful daughter. My heart is with you. You are the strongest woman I know. Everyone, please send your prayers and positive energy to our Kirsten." Laura Wright, Carly, shared, "The strength and grace you show every day is an inspiration. We are all with you, Kirsten. You've got this." Executive producer Frank Valentini released a statement on behalf of the show, saying, "Kirsten is not just an immensely talented actress, she is a cherished member of our General Hospital family. Our complete support and unwavering love are with her during this time. We have ensured that she has all the time and resources she needs for a full and complete recovery, and we eagerly await her return to Port Charles." This unified front highlighted the unique nature of a daytime television set, a place where actors often work together for decades, forming bonds that transcend their professional roles. In this moment of crisis, the General Hospital family closed ranks around one of their own. The intersection of art and life, courage under fire. In the days following her announcement, it became impossible to separate the actress from the character. Scenes that had already been filmed, yet to air, were viewed through a new, heartbreaking lens. A scene where Maxie, trembling but resolute, stands up to Peter and declares, "You will not scare me. You will not control me. I am stronger than you can possibly imagine," was no longer just about a fictional abuser. It felt like a manifesto from Storms herself, a declaration of defiance against the illness threatening her well-being. Every time Maxie forced a brave face for her children, viewers saw Storms mustering the courage to face her fans and her future. Every moment of vulnerability where Maxie broke down in private, only to recompose herself moments later, mirrored the private struggle Storms had been enduring for years. The parallel was uncanny and deeply moving. The character's core identity, resilience in the face of overwhelming odds, was a perfect reflection of the actress's own journey. This is the unique contract between a daytime star and their audience. They invite us into their lives, 5 days a week, for years on end. We watch them age, evolve, and navigate life's milestones, both on and off screen. When a real-life crisis of this magnitude occurs, the emotional investment pays a different kind of dividend, a global community of support. Fans shared stories of their own medical battles, offered advice, and created virtual prayer circles. They analyzed her past performances with a new understanding, recognizing the sheer professionalism it must have taken to deliver such compelling work while in physical pain and mental distress. The road to recovery, surgery, and the silence that follows. The day of the surgery arrived, marking a somber pause in the ongoing narrative. The General Hospital set, usually a hive of activity and dialogue, was undoubtedly quieter, the absence of Storm's vibrant presence keenly felt. The production had, with careful planning, written her out of the storyline in a way that allowed for a seamless, albeit temporary, departure for Maxie. In the immediate aftermath of the procedure, updates were scarce, as is standard with major medical events. The network and her representatives asked for privacy, stating only that the surgery had been completed and that Storms was resting and recovering. This period of silence was agonizing for fans, but it was a necessary part of the process. The focus had to shift entirely from the public persona to the private patient, from the actress to the woman fighting for her health. This interim period on the show will be a testament to the strength of its ensemble cast. Storylines will shift, other characters will move to the forefront, and the world of Port Charles will continue to turn. But there will be an undeniable void. Maxie's absence will be felt in the corridors of General Hospital, at the Metro Court, and in the lives of her friends and family. It is a void that cannot be filled, only patiently awaited to be filled once more by the actress who has made the role irreplaceable. A legacy of strength and a future of hope. Kirsten Storm's journey is far from over. Brain surgery is not a finish line, but the starting gate of a long and arduous recovery process. It involves rehabilitation, rest, and a gradual return to normal life. The path back to the demanding schedule of a daytime drama will be its own challenge, one that will require time and immense patience. However, if there is one thing that Storm's career and personal revelation have demonstrated, it is her profound reservoir of strength. From her early days as a child star to navigating the pressures of network television as a young woman, she has consistently shown a toughness and professionalism that belies her petite stature. Her decision to be transparent about her health struggle is perhaps her bravest performance yet, an unscripted act of courage that has inspired thousands. The storyline of baptism begins, encouraging words, angry threats will eventually conclude on screen. Peter will presumably get his comeuppance, Maxie will find a measure of peace, and baby Louise will grow up, her baptism a distant memory. But the real-life storyline of Kirsten Storms will have a much more meaningful and lasting impact. Her revelation has sparked important conversations about invisible illness, the immense pressures faced by actors, and the human spirit's capacity to endure. It has reminded us that behind the glamour and the drama of television, there are real people with real struggles. And in doing so, she has deepened the connection with her audience in a way no scripted plot ever could. As the General Hospital community and fans around the world continue to send their encouraging words, rallying against the angry threat of illness, one thing is certain, the same resilience that defines Maxie Jones is embodied tenfold by Kirsten Storms. Her baptism by fire is underway, and if her past is any prologue, her future will be one of triumphant return and a strength that inspires for years to come. The stage is set, not in Port Charles, but in a recovery room, where the most important role she will ever play is that of a survivor. And the entire audience is rooting for her.